Hey, what's up, my fellow YouTubing Yu-Gi-Oh people? Um, I am back showing you the upgraded version of my Lightsworn deck. Uh, I upgraded it a couple weeks ago when I went to regionals. Made a couple changes, just a couple, and I got 17th out of about 200, topped at that regional. So that was my first top, and I was pretty excited, and just thought I would share the upgrades with you. Um, Couple changes, and I figured you'd like another video to dislike. So many people disliked my last one that thought, why not? Let's upgrade it. Let's upload another one. So I'm back. Lightsworns, again, same thing. 3 JDs, powerhouse of the deck. It's a great card to have in the deck. You don't necessarily need 3, but 3 is always fun. Up next, BLS. Everybody I know is running BLS in almost everything. They're finding ways to fit BLS in any deck. I see it in TGs, and it saddens me. 3 Raikos. I made the change. I was going to cut out a Raiko, and I decided against it. You really need it for the back row destruction. But other than that, sometimes it's good to pop off a monster. Dropped Wolf down to 2. This was my first choice. I decided that Wolf had to go. A lot of times it was just a dead card in the hand. Lila's still at 2. Back row hate, gets around Starlight Road, stuff like that. Only problem is if it's bottomless, no destruction. Here's one of the changes I made. Another one. When I took out a Wolf, I added a second Jane. The reason I did this is because I was running into a lot of Thunder Kings, and I was running into a lot of, well, at my locals I was running into a lot of Quackimero Dragos, and I needed something that I could normal summon to get over that, and just the card troopers weren't doing it, so I, upgraded to another Jane. Single lights. Lumina, special summons from grave, good mill. Celestia, a lot of people side in Starlight Roads against me. Celestia is still good against it because if you only pop 1, they can't Starlight Road you. Garoth, extra draw power in the deck if you need it. A lot of people don't like Arcus, but I put him back in because it's another name. 2, he's got a nice defense. I can set him and wait for them to swing into it. And then an Aaron. Aaron's still good. Aaron was always good. Honest. Everybody knows why Honest is in the deck. Onto the Darks. 2 Necrogardenas. 2 is almost a necessity. It's your defense and the deck. A lot of Lightsworn decks don't like to run back row, so Necrogarden is necessary at 2. Single Darks, got 4 of them. Trag, Chaos Sorcerer, Gores, and Plague. Plague Spreader just for sync power. It's the only tuner I have in the deck, and I usually only sync once per duel, if I sync at all. A lot of times I'll find myself going into Mistworm. I have a Mistworm over a Trish. 1, because I don't have a Trish. 2, I would probably run... I probably still run a Mistworm even if I had a Trish. I like Mistworm a lot better. That's just preference, though. Gores, a lot of people don't run back row. I do run back row in this deck, but I find myself getting it MST'd or Heavy Stormed or being used extremely quick. So Gores comes in handy. Chaos Sorcerer, I got 1 BLS, so I only run one Chaos Sorcerer. I thought about taking it back up to 2 when I was making changes, but I needed the Jane more than anything else. And 1 Trag. Trag is a really good card, and I know it's at 2, but the deck doesn't really need it at 2. A lot of times you'll find yourself drawing it, and it'll be a dead draw. 2 Troopers. Aside from the logical fact that you should draw when it's destroyed, this is just a Thunder King killer. Mill 3, crash, draw a card. On to the spells. 3 solar recharges, draw power of the deck. You know, discard that Lightsworn, draw 1, or draw 2, mill 2. Could end up with 3 Lightsworns in grave immediately. 3 reincarns to get back that JD or anything else that you want to get back from grave. Charge. Charge, you know, mill 3, search that Lumina, anything else. Foolish into Wolf, Foolish into Necro, defense, special summon, waste a Bottomless on the Wolf. And then, you know, basic staples, Dark Hole, Reborn, Heavy Storm. Traps. I know a lot of people only run 4 traps. A lot of people will run 2 Beckonings and 2 Decrees. And I feel like if you're going to run things like Beckoning, you shouldn't run Decree, because it's the chance that you're going to draw into a waste of Beckoning that ends up to be a waste is just too high. So I don't run any Decrees in the deck. You're actually probably going to laugh at one of the cards that I run in here, but I don't have a warning anymore. I got rid of it. I didn't really need it in the deck. I mean, they don't run a lot of back row, you know, like most people assume. Call. Call, it's a good bluff card, actually. You set Call, you get back the Trooper, you get back the Arcus, anything that's in grave that'll just stay if they MST it. Things like that. Trooper allows you to draw. Arcus, you know, Arcus just stays on the field. I actually only run 1 Beckoning. I have 3 Reincarns in the deck still, so you only really need 1 Beckoning. It's good to have, you know, the discard isn't a cost, so if it gets decreed or if it gets, you know, 7 tools, you don't lose your hand or anything. Basic others, trap staples nowadays, Torrential, Mirror Force, and Solemn Judgment. Like I said, I don't have a warning anymore, so I still main deck the Judgment. If I had 2 warnings, I'd probably take this out. Mirror Force, you know why. Torrential, you know why. And I mean, Torrential doesn't really hurt the deck all that much, because if you end up with your monsters in grave, then you just special summon a JD out of nowhere. And I actually tech this last card. It's a Jar of Greed. I played it as a joke last week, actually. And I thought it'd be funny to run, and surprisingly it actually worked really well. I actually had 2 of these face down at one point, and a Call with a Trooper in grave, and they went to Heavy Storm me because they were afraid of what my face downs were, and I chained all 3 and got to draw 3 cards. So I mean, if you go first and you open with it, it's a free plus. Otherwise, you know, it's just, if it gets MST'd, big deal. Synchros, nothing's changed. Mistworm, don't have a Trish. I like Mistworm better anyway. Colossal Fighter, it's good to have against things like Sam's. Sync an easy 8. Like I said, I don't sync all that much in this deck, but it's nice to have the option. RDA, just in case you run into one of those stall decks. A lot of people are trying to run Empty Jar and shit like that too. And I mean, just like, if you get the chance to get it out against something that's stall worthy or something that sets nothing but defense, then awesome. If not, then he's just there, you know, as a 3K beat stick if you want to use him. Scrap Dragon, like I said, all of these are just, you know, just in cases. 2 Stardust still. You know, I don't use most of them, so Thought Ruler, Life Gain. Black Rose. Black Rose is specifically in here because I like to have that extra nuke before I drop a JD, just in case they've got something like Judgment or Warning or anything along those lines. Turns out that I don't usually sink into these as much as I thought I would. A lot of times I'll find myself going into Mistworm, and that's about it, because I have a 3 and a 4 on the field quite often. But 6 stars, Gaia, Stardust Killer, Iron Chain makes your opponent mill. It's always good. Cataster, you know, destroy anything that's not dark. So that's actually it. I could go into my side deck, but it doesn't look like I have enough time. So see y'all later.